What's up, guys? Here's Mr. 42 here, and welcome back to another episode of Katawa Shoujo. Last time we left off, we were helping out Lily with her class, fixing up and basically painting and finishing up the banner for their noodle stalls. So we were with Kenji, funny enough, is in that class. So we were helping out Kenji and Hanako and Lily last time. And yeah, so our alarm clock just went off, and it's time for us to do what we gotta do. My morning alarm goes off, and I flail about uselessly for a while until I remember that I decided to give morning runs another shot. I don't know if this was my greatest idea, but I'm determined to keep going. This is about my health after all. Sure, things haven't been great lately for me, but that hasn't made existence so intolerable that I'm not going to try everything I can to stay healthy. Jesus Christ. Words are hard. Besides, it's all about asserting some kind of control over this thing, right? If I can manage that, well, I can manage anything. At least that's what I keep telling myself. Once again, it would appear that I'm not alone in my run. Yumi has apparently been here for some time. It looks like she's already worked up a good sweat. Just when the hell does she come down here anyway? Words are hard. Jesus Christ, my reading is not on today. I'm like slightly tired, so like reading's gonna be off. Oh, it's you! I'm surprised to see you again. Why is that? Well, not many people actually manage to come back for a second try. She frowned, seemingly annoyed by a passing thought. Like the rest of the track team, for instance. Still, it was only supposed to be on a voluntary basis, so it's not that big of a shock. And I guess it's pretty early in the morning. A shrug, and suddenly it appears that she's forgotten what she was talking about. The frown disappears entirely, and she seems to snap back to her previous train of thought. So, come on. What? You're here to run, right? Well, yes. So come on. I found myself suddenly grabbed and yanked onto the track. Things seemed to be set on mirroring yesterday's run. That is, I seem to be struggling while Amy moves with an effortlessness that I find enviable. It's incredibly bothersome to be so easily worn out. Words, Jesus Christ, I can't read today. I know I should be patient, work towards things gradually, but it's difficult to stay positive about this. We round the track and start on our second lap. Yumi seems to have grown impatient keeping pace with me and begins to pull away. This is where I gave out yesterday. Will I be able to do more? See, we can go for it, or we could take it easy. You know what? I would say go for it, but at the same time, I kind of don't want to die because of heart failure. So I'm gonna chill and I'm gonna take it easy. I'm not gonna go full steam ahead. I let Emi go with her own pace, and she doesn't show mercy, pulling half a lap ahead of me in an instant. I don't blame her. I mean, it's not as if I'm ready. It's not as if I'm really putting up any sort of real effort out here, is it? Instead, I'm just running at a steady pace, which is what I should be doing, right? There's no need to go pushing my limit at this stage of the game. God, is this even worth it? I finish the second lap. I break off again. Yumi keeps going, and it almost seems to me that she's disappointed. Well, that's stupid. I don't have anything to prove to her. Come to think of it, I've got nothing to prove to myself either. I'm just fine the way I am. And what I'm not is a runner. This was probably a bad idea. Maybe there's something else I can do instead of this. Getting up this early sucks anyway. There's got to be some other way to keep healthy. Walking, maybe. Nice afternoon walks. Yeah, sounds good. Running isn't for me. I whip to Emi and head back to my room. I think of something else later. Back in my room, the first thing I see is a familiar row of medication bottles lined up on top of my dresser, and it makes me depressed as usual. It's annoying. I thought I was okay. I thought I had made my peace with this thing, gotten over it. But what I really did, I allowed myself to forget that I have a problem. Being here really reminds me of the reality, and trying to fight against it just hurts. Footing on it is only going to do so much. I've done this before for months. It seems like it's time to get over it. If I allow myself to forget that my life is definitely not going to be as long as those of others, I won't get anywhere. My life may be difficult from others, but it's a life in progress. That is how I rationalize it. I down the usual handful of pills, trying to push the sudden dreary feeling out of my head. Then I prepare to head out to class early as usual. As I step into the hallway, I notice Kenji coming around the hallway corner, stealthily making his way over to his own room with the large bag. As he sneaks past me soundlessly, like a ninja hiding in plain sight, I call out to him. Hey! He jumps at the sound of my voice. Oh! Hey, man. I didn't notice you there. I'm really tired. Yeah, same, Kenji. I think it's more like he didn't see me, but that's not the issue. Where have you been this early? Shopping? Nah, I wasn't shopping. Sometimes I have to visit the math teacher. Yeah, I figured it would be a good idea to find out when the next exam is, since he tells you in advance if you want. So then what's in the bag? I thought I'd go shopping while I was outside. I need supplies to continue the fight against the vast feminist conspiracy. Okay. I thought you didn't go outside. Wear a hat now. I decide to not point out that he is not wearing a hat. An awkward silence settles between us, and then Kenji breaks it by pushing his door open slowly, realizing a creaking sound into the air that only makes the moment seem more awkward. He sets the bag down inside his room and then closes the door. Surprised you went out of your way to find out a test date, trying to take advantage of an opportunity to study it pretty diligently? I never study. Oh. I just wanted to know when the next test day was. I'm still going to take it, duh. I need to know so I know what days I can't afford to skip class. He usually sends out updates on that crap by phone, so I had to step out and check up on it. And why do you have to go out when you can get it on your phone? I don't carry a phone. What do you mean you don't carry a phone? You mean you just leave it at home? No, I don't use phones. I don't have a phone. Phones? I have no phone. Why don't you have a phone? How can you not have a phone? No phone at all. No phone. I just don't like phones. Actually, I'm kind of scared of them. I don't know why. I think it's some kind of repressed trauma. But basically, when I hear a phone, I get nervous. It's my darkest secret. What? I have two theories on it. Either I have some fear of receiving some undefined, ominous, life-altering doom call, or I was beaten with a phone of the past. Beaten so bad that I can't remember it. Beaten in the head. Well, where else could I get beaten with a phone that would make me unable to remember it? The ass? Unexpectedly logical. I feel very depressed now. Sensing this conversation more or less over, Kenji opens his door and prepares to head inside. Yeah, I'm going to sleep, dude. Have a good one. Class is going to start in like 20 minutes. I already did something today. Too tired to go to school. Hey, you need some lip balm? I accidentally bought two because I thought the store had started selling individual AA batteries. Ah, the face palm. Thanks, but no thanks. Whatever, man. Sophia enters his lair, finally letting me go to class. For a change, I'm not among the first ones to come to morning class. Instead, almost everyone else seems to be here already. I recognize most of my class by their faces by now, though the names escape me still. He bought two AA batteries. That's awesome. That is awesome. The class goes on lazily. I think I'm starting to get into the rhythm of the school. I've even stopped worrying about taking notes and being overly attentive. The first day is I was pretty high-strung in class. Muto finishes his lectures about electricity early, but continues without a pause about the festival. So, as you know, the festival is on the day after tomorrow, so in 2 days. I hope everyone's projects are going to be successful this year. I have a good time, but... have a good time. I thought he said no, whatever. Have a good time, but also come Sunday, please keep the meaning of this festival in your minds. Games and fried food! Misha. Everyone bursts out in laughter, and so do I. Yes, thank you, Makoto. But what I meant was that... don't you hate it when that happens when you're talking and the bell cuts you off in class? The reminder of his sentence is buried beneath the ring of the lunch bells, and everyone starts packing their things. Matsuo deliberates for a moment, but since almost nobody seems to be paying attention anymore, he gives up and sits down. It's crowded in the It's crowded in the hallway, and as crowded as hallways in this school probably get, most of the students seem to be heading for the cafeteria. Oh, it's Emi. Hisao! Going to make you a one-time only super extra special lunch offer. Emi's homemade lunchboxes and the privilege of enjoying them in private with two bombshell beauties. Her overly flirtatious sales pitch echoes in the hallway, a remarkable feat since it's full of people. Emi strikes a very confident-looking pose as an attempt to one-up her own ridiculousness, puffing her very modest chest and making the V victory sign with their hands. Sounds delicious. To what do I owe this honor of being invited? You sit there looking really lost and sad, so I thought you could use some company. It's probably the most depressing reason imaginable. So about it. You're probably really lonely and would eat that awful cafeteria food all alone otherwise. I'm kidding. Sure, I'll have your lunch offer. With pleasure. Let's go to the roof. The roof? Why the roof? Because that's where we eat lunch. And if I don't get up there, then she'll probably wander off, and then I just know she'll go hungry without... Because she never packs a lunch for herself. Who will? Come with me. Without answering my question or waiting for a response, she grabs me by the arm and drags me through the hallways. I attempt to make conversation on the way. Why do you have an extra lunch? Emi smiles guiltily. Actually, it's yesterday's lunch. I slipped in a run at lunch and forgot to eat it. Huh. The stairway to the roof is a little dilapidated, but it's clearly been used recently. At the top of the stairs is a door, complete with missing padlock. I wonder who the intrepid individual was that removed the lock. And we on the roof. Emi shoves the door open and steps beaming into the sunlight. Suddenly, a tall, dark stranger appears out of nowhere, standing imposingly in front of us. Emi flinches back, almost falling down the stairs. Eek! Hello? Yipes, you scared me, Rin. Wait, isn't she? Oh, that's right! That's right! You win! Hello! Noticing that Rin is speaking to me, Emi looks curiously at me. You two know each other? I looked confusedly at Emi. She's that friend of yours? Rin has turned her gaze towards the clouds drifting above the school. I didn't know you knew this person, Emi. The awkward silence lasts only for a few seconds until Emi lets out a tiny giggle, shrugging the coincidence off. Invited us out for lunch. If you know him, that's just better. Oh, does this mean I don't get food, or did you invite him for lunch without the lunch? Neither. I have food for 3. Nice thinking. They walk to the other end of the roof while I stay at the clock tower for a while, taking in the atmosphere. There's nobody else but us here. I guess the roof is not as popular as it is in other schools. A few rundown benches and tables are scattered around the edges, perhaps in an attempt to make the roof look less desolated. The small pebbles covering the roof rattle beneath our feet. I peek through the chain-link fence to take a look at the school grounds and beyond. Students are strolling in pairs and groups around the quadrangle and at the cafeteria. Oh my god, my reading is so bad today. A few delivery trucks are driving past the school towards the convenience store nearby. Somewhere a watchdog barks at a pass-by. Somehow when I look towards the town center, the small town feel strikes me very strongly, almost palpably. The hectic lifestyle of big metropolises seems so far away and foreign here. Nobody has to run to catch a bus like their life depends on it, or get their senses overloaded by the neon lights and traffic jams. Jesus Christ, I know that feeling. I feel surprisingly optimistic about this new life of mine, looking at my new hometown, even if it's going to be mine for only one short year. Finding out about my illness and having to move away from home all came so suddenly I haven't had time to think about how I feel. When I step out of the shadow of the clock tower to the open, I feel warmth touching my back. The sun shines from a perfectly clear, cerulean sky. A cool breeze sweeping over the rooftop makes me shiver, but only briefly. The wind carries the scent of trees and flowers, not smog and car exhaust like it used to just a few weeks ago. Emi settles on the bench with Rin in tow and produces 1 big and 2 small lunch boxes from her bag. Come on, Hisao. What are you waiting for? She's beckoning me to join them, making room on the already small bench. I seat myself on the corner of the bench to take as little space as possible. It's pretty cramped, but somehow all 3 of us fit on it. Impressive view. Emi suppresses a giggle and places a lunchbox in front of Rin, and hands another lunchbox to me. Here you go. Lunch as promised. Homemade, no less. I'm impressed. Wow, this looks really good. Thanks. I make them myself when I can. Conversation dies off as I set about the business of feeding myself. Taking a few bites, I glass up and notice Rin definitely opening the lunchbox and popping a fork full of food into her mouth using only her feet. Even though I've seen it before, I can't help but be impressed at her dexterity. It's also a reminder of the sort of place I am in right now. Will I ever get used to sights such as this? I can't decide if getting used to such a thing would be a good thing or a bad thing either. Does getting used to this place mean that I'm giving up on being a normal person? Or does it just mean that I'm becoming more understanding about those around me? I'm distracted from my thoughts by the sights of Emi tearing into her lunch as if it had insulted her ancestors. You seem pretty hungry. Emi looks up, mouth half full, and swallows before nodding. My morning run always works up an appetite. Which is great, because then I burn through lunch pretty quickly. Helps me keep my girlish figure. What would happen if you lose it? Would you become a man? I very nearly choke on my lunch trying not to laugh. It's a figure of speech. Does your figure have to run in the mornings too? Do you always talk like this? Talk like what? Like what? I think that answers my question. Never mind. So, I struggled to think of small talk and settle on the obvious question. How'd you two meet? Ren seems content to let Emi answer this question. Someone in the housing department thought that we'd complement each other well, so we were assigned rooms next to one another. Complement each other. Like shoes and a suit. Huh? Emi giggles at my confusion. Put us together and we've got all our limbs, get it? Ah. So I started helping Rin get ready in the morning, and that was that. I mean, you can't help someone get dressed every morning and not get along. I see. Rin chooses this moment to interject. I have trouble with shirts. Right, that seems fairly obvious. Really? Kind of? This isn't helping, but at least Emi seems to find the whole thing funny. That, combined with the fact that Rin is generally curious, makes me feel slightly better and yet confused. I mean, you've got no arms, so putting on a shirt seems like one of those things that would be difficult. You know what? I'm going to stop talking right now. It'll save me a lot of trouble in the long run. Rin nods in what I suspect is meant to be a sage manner. I see. The conversation dies as I turn my attention back to my lunch. It's really quite good. Emi finishes her lunch first and makes a contented noise. Ah, that was good. As she busies herself with cleaning up her lunch, Rin speaks up. I'm thirsty. Oh, I almost forgot about that. Sorry. With a flourish, she reaches into her bag and removes a trio of juice boxes. She tosses me one that appears to be cranberry juice, one to Rin that appears to be some kind of strawberry milk, complete with the pink color scheme, and keeps an equally pink box of some kind of fruit punch for herself. Rin dexterously stabs her straw through the top of her box and begins to drink. I'm once again impressed by how flexible she is, but this time I keep my comment to myself. Somehow I don't think either Emi or Rin are the sorts of people to think twice about the way they work around their particular disabilities, Rin especially so. Instead, she gives off the impression of being entirely unaware that she's missing any limbs at all. Whether or not that's a conscious decision is another matter. I'm honestly not sure. So Hisao, how do you like it up here? It's quite nice, actually. I like high places for the view. Thanks for inviting me up here. And for the lunch, too. Emi grins a 1,000-watt grin. Pleased by my response, I suppose. No problem. So free to eat with us next time, too, okay? I won't make you a lunch, but you can bring your own up here. No lunch service? I don't know. Emi looks mock offended. Try to take advantage of my good nature? The nerve. She giggles. Well, if that's your answer, I guess Red and I will just keep eating lunch all alone. I am suddenly assaulted by the most heart-rendering puppy dog eyes I've ever seen on as Emi pouts. Kidding, I was kidding. I'd love to eat lunch up here again. Good location, and the company is okay too. Emi frowns a bit at my declaration of okay, but seems happy enough that I have accepted her invitation. I guess this makes us friends now, or at least acquaintances. The lunch bell rings, signaling a return downstairs. Rin, you didn't finish your lunch again. I wasn't that hungry. If you don't eat more, you're going to fade away. Emi shrugs as if this is an acceptable risk. Come on, we better get going. The three of us head down the stairs together. When I'm in class. The afternoon class passes. Once again, I find myself without a plan for something to do after school, so I head to the library to return a couple of books I finished reading. Alright. And we're going to end off here in the library. So, hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Katawa Shoujo. It was kind of interesting to talk with Emi and Rin again. Because I've always found Rin a very interesting character. And stuff like that. And like I've said, all these characters are fantastic, but obviously I have my eyes set on one girl in this Let's Play. And I'm aiming for her. So it's gonna happen. When you drink milk before a recording session, it starts coming up at the end. But yeah. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode of Katawa Shoujo. If you did, make sure to like button down below. So if you're not subscribed, channel subscribe as well. And yep, that is it for me, guys. Christmas 42, and I will see you all in another video.